guess I should start off by saying I'm sorry for the very long gap in the videos. A lot of stuff's been going on. I'll cover it in the video. Um, this is going to be on my phone. It's not great quality. I apologize in advance. But I needed to get this done, today. I had a user comment yesterday. I'm trying to remember what his name was. But he commented yesterday that he kind of wanted to know my thoughts on, life after death, aliens, probably ghosts, things like that. Those unanswered questions that most of us as humans have. For those of you who go from a scientific standpoint, you may or may not enjoy this video. But there is also some bad news that I needed to share. For those of you who know about my girlfriend who suffered from the heart conditions, I am sorry to say that she passed away on Thursday the 26th of April. They believe it was a blood clot. There was nothing we could have done to prevent it or know it was coming. And it's been a shock. She was young. She was only 34. And I never did find out what the actual condition was that she suffered from. She never did mention it. She didn't like to talk about it much. But I just got back from the funeral. The visitation was yesterday. And I was lucky enough that the family asked me to be a pallbearer. So I was very grateful for that. So I'm going to be talking about, some memories of her as I kind of segue into my beliefs on the afterlife, kind of give you guys an explanation about what's been going on, why I haven't been uploading videos, and, just kind of get back into this because she did enjoy when I did videos or made music or did anything creative. She was always a fan of that. So in a way, this is in her honor. And I'm going to do my best to get back on things. I don't have a computer right now, so my phone is what I've got. Limited memory. This video will probably be cut into several different parts just because I won't be able to get it all done in one shot because this is going to be kind of lengthy. So I apologize for any cuts that happen in the middle of a sentence. I'll just try to pick it up on the next video. So what I brought with me today was her favorite Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And there's a story behind this too. This is the Caramel Sutra with a caramel core. And I'm going to have to set the phone down, and you're going to be looking at my fan and my ceiling a lot. But that's okay because this isn't about me. This is about her. And just, I'm not really sure what you want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and set this down, and I'll start off by telling you the story of this ice cream in general. When we were about a year and a half into dating, this is one of the things that I picked up one day because we both like caramel a lot. And I had taken a few bites of it, and she asked me, can I get some too? And I said, of course, of course you can have some, because she really wanted to try the caramel core. I told her, I said, just make sure you leave me a little bit of the core so I can have some too. And she literally only ate the core. Just the caramel. She gave me back the ice cream, and there was just a big hole in the center. So that was one of my favorite memories that I have of her, and I saw it at where I work at. that we had some, so I picked up a pint of it last night. It's very good. It's chocolate and caramel ice cream with fudge chips and the caramel core, of course. And I don't know how well this is going to show up, but there's all that ooey gooey caramel in there. So, it was early Thursday morning that I got the call that she had passed. And it was very unexpected because, as some of you who watch my older videos know, back in 2016 she had a corrective surgery, which was successful. And she seemed to be doing very well. The last 3 months especially, she was really living life to the fullest. You know, really enjoying herself, having fun. So I know that she was happy in the end, and that's the important thing. And there was closure for us, and I have many good memories with her, and that's what counts. But I have been very depressed the last few days, obviously, but I've gotten all the crying out of my system, so, I still get that feeling from time to time when I think about her, and it's still very fresh, and I know it's gonna hit me. I got done watching Infinity War with my friend on his birthday. It was the day after she passed, and the first thing I tried to do was go to call her. I'm just so used to her being there. And she was a movie buff and a big nerd for TV shows. She could actually recite almost every line from the Friends series. She'd seen the whole thing probably 15 times over. I played a lot of video games together with her. The one I remember the most was Super Smash Brothers for the Wii. Every time I was about to beat her, she would jump off the ledge because she didn't want to give me the satisfaction. But I guess a little bit about how we met. It was in 2015. We met in 2014. And New Year's Eve of 2014, I was going through a very difficult time with my drinking issues. And I had called her up, and the next day she came over, and she spent 2 weeks with me, helping me to cope and try to quit drinking. And that was when I asked her to date me, which a lot of people at the time thought it was stupid. But I don't regret a minute of it. Got 3 great years from her. And we just spent those 2 weeks, hanging out, watching videos on YouTube, playing music, just kind of talking. So we started dating, and of course, being how I am, things moved along very quickly, and she moved in with me shortly after that. And for 3 years, it was a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a fairy tale, in between her health issues and my alcoholism. It took me a very long time to finally get it, but in 2016, when I finally did go to rehab, she was the one who helped me make that decision. by finally putting her foot down and saying that she wasn't going to support it anymore, my drinking. And after I got out of rehab and started living at the facility, where I was gone for about 6-7 months from YouTube, very long gap, she still, came and visited every day that she could. During that time, she had the corrective surgery, and when I was able to go and visit her on a regular basis. And I got out of the facility in October of 2016. And about a month and a half later, I relapsed again. And she stayed with me. I don't know why, but she did. And for about a year, it was a on again, off again struggle with the drinking. And she always stayed by my side no matter what. I never talked badly to her or physically abused her. I was never an angry drunk. But I always would get so sick after trying to quit, I wouldn't be able to do anything for about 3 days. So I was basically a worthless lump. During those times, she would look out for me. And finally, just this year, it was January 3rd. This is part of the reason why I disappeared when I did. I checked myself back into rehab. And this time around, I've got 4 months of sobriety. On the 4th of next month, I go to AA meetings every day, if I can. I work with a sponsor now. I just finished my 5th step yesterday, where you go and lay out all the resentments that you have and look at your part in those resentments as well. And I may cover not my actual 5th step, but some things about AA in other videos. But that's not this one. But she had about 4 months sober. I had about 4 months sober. And after I got out of treatment, we had actually parted ways. But we remained best friends for those last 3.5 months before she passed. We would talk on the phone every day, sometimes for an hour and a half at a time. And it's weird knowing that she's gone. I used to hear from her every day. And some days are easier than others. These last 4 days, 5 days. But I'm glad that at the very least we, the two of us had found some closure and we still remain good friends. But from that point on, we can move into the next subject. One of the things that was asked was, what happens after we pass? What's my thoughts on that? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I choose to believe in an afterlife. As a member of AA, I'm spiritual, not really religious. I believe in a higher power. Of my understanding, I believe that forgiving and loving God does exist. I don't know I take bits and pieces out of the Bible that I find necessary. You know, it's like eating fish. You take the meat and throw away the bone. But there's also been scientific research showing that after we pass, the soul leaves our body. Some sort of, I'm not really sure about all the details of it. I read a little bit up on it. There's research showing that the soul leaves our body as some form of energy. And it's entirely possible that energy, along with the knowledge that was encompassed through that person's life, is spread throughout the world and or the universe. I like to think that's a possibility too. But I do believe that if there is a heaven, she's there. She was a kind-hearted, loving person to everybody. And I guess the way I look at it is if it's true that a heaven does exist, then when I do pass, I'll be happy to know that I was a believer and that I'll be able to see her again. And if a heaven doesn't exist, I'll be too busy being dead to care. So I figure, what's the harm in believing? I try to pray every day, more so now than I was. At least once in the morning and once in the night. I don't pray for anything specific. I just ask for God to guide me in the right direction. And His will, not mine. And I know that whatever falls on my plate during the day, He won't give me something that I can't handle. If there's something I can't handle on my own, that's what the people in the program, my friends and family, are for. When I call them, I need to talk. And as far as a compass of what's right and wrong, a moral compass, when it comes to sinning, I don't necessarily follow any specific religion. I know what's right and what's wrong. I know the basis of what I should and shouldn't be doing with my life. And as long as I'm staying sober and clean, it'll all work out. Now, it brings me to the point of spirits, ghosts. I don't know where I'm at with those. As I said, there's always that possibility our essence remains. I mean, you see all these movies and hear all these stories, but you don't know which ones are true and which ones are just made up. But I like to believe I have a guardian angel or two. So I guess you could say I believe in ghosts to a point. But I'm not too knowledgeable on the subject other than what you see in movies, so I'll just move straight from that one into aliens, which I do believe in. Because when you think about it, there's no way in this huge, expansive universe that is so far beyond our comprehension that we're the only ones that have intelligent life. It just doesn't make any sense to think that way. I think that's actually a little conceited to think that we're the only intelligent life forms out there. and have a little humility. I don't know how I feel about the whole Area 51 thing. I mean, it's obvious to me they're hiding something. I don't know if that's alien artifacts or just some new technology that we're just not ready for yet. I mean, heck, as far as we know, they could know when the world's supposed to end, and we wouldn't be able to figure that out until it was too late. But again, it's not a subject that I've researched extensively now. I did watch some interviews with the guy who used to work at Area 51. And this is just what I've read and watched, but he was the one who talked about what he called the Greys, which are supposedly the aliens that we had contact with, and they actually have at Area 51, along with alien technology. And he was killed or committed suicide or whatever. Conspiracy theorists believe he was murdered by the government because he had gone public with the knowledge of the existence of aliens. This was years ago that I watched this video, so my memory is somewhat shady on the matter. God, I already ate that whole thing. It was good, though. It was worth it. No regrets. That's one thing about quitting drinking, is you get a very severe sweet tooth because of all the sugar that you're used to getting from the alcohol. Excuse me. The body starts to crave sugar a lot more. Check this real quick. Okay. I just have to keep an eye on the length of the video because it may stop recording. But we're 22 minutes in, so that's not bad. Let's see here. As far as thoughts on life in general, I believe now more than ever that life is short. You only have so many years to do what you want to do. It's too short to waste. Because you never know when your time's going to come. So, I encourage everyone to live their life and live it to the fullest. Enjoy it. Don't be afraid to take those steps or do that thing that maybe you've just had too much fear to do. And it's part of the reason why I haven't been doing videos or making music or much of anything. There's a lot of irrational fear. As a child, I was, a young child up through my adolescence. I was bullied and picked on quite a bit. And it caused me to have a very low self-esteem and low self-worth, which amazingly is something that I've been able to find going to these meetings. I've found a companionship and a fellowship there that I've never had anywhere else. Excuse me. And I'm starting to get that confidence back. I'd rather be doing something about it than doing what I was in the past and just sitting around and moping and complaining about everything and just hoping things would get better or that people would accept me. It doesn't happen like that. You have to be able to accept yourself. And that's the crux of it all, is finding that self-acceptance and that self-love, that self-worth, being able to push yourself to those limits that you've been too scared to try and do. Now, of course, that's not to say that everybody can do everything they want. Some people can, some people can't. But being comfortable with that and accepting what you can do, what your limits are, what, how far you can go on your own. That, to me, in my opinion, is incredibly important. I'm ready to start drawing again. I haven't drawn cartoons in probably 11 years. I used to draw them every day. I used to play guitar every day. I haven't touched that in about 10 years. I was doing hip-hop music around the time I met Ashley. I haven't touched that in 3 years. Because all these things I did while I was under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And I used those substances to get past my fear of other people judging or looking down on what I created. And it's time to move past that. And even with these videos, there's always, the internet is a very brutal place. People do not hold back. It's not like when you're in public and you say something to somebody and you have to worry about whether or not they're going to actually do something about it. When you're in the safety of your own home, you can say whatever you want to someone, and there's nothing they can do because you're protected. So the internet's brutal, it's unforgiving. And I see some horrible things said on the web, and I try not to do that. I used to. I used to. I'd be drunk and posting just off-the-wall stuff. It didn't make any sense. Or taking offense to things that I didn't really need to take offense to. Because they're just words. And yeah, words hurt. And I think a lot of us creative types are very sensitive. We're used to being belittled or judged or looked at differently. But I urge you and encourage you to take that with a grain of salt. And don't be afraid to do that next big thing. That thing that you really cherish and have a passion for. Do it. Don't hold back, because then you're left with regrets. Wasted time. But it's never too late to pick that back up again. I plan on going back to school in a few years for a psychology major, counseling. But in the meantime, I did just get a job working at this warehouse factory at $11.75 an hour with benefits and insurance. That starts on Monday the 14th of May. Until then, I am going to try to post a video, every other night after work. I work right now until midnight. So I'm going to try to post a video. Thursdays and Fridays are my days off. I'll definitely post on those days. Of course, I say that, but who knows? My schedule's always changing. There's always something different happening. We're almost at 30 minutes and this video is still going. I'm very impressed. But I guess, to kind of wrap it all into place is, I apologize for the long wait. I don't have any excuses for it. Just my own irrational fear and my own problems that I've caused myself. And I want to thank all of you who have supported me. And we broke over 100 subs during that time. And I'm shocked. I'm stoked. And you guys are awesome for doing that for me. I never would have imagined that I'd even break 100. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get some equipment up and running soon. And you guys will get something other than these phone videos. But for now, it's just what I can do. And I apologize for that. But you guys are very important to me too. And I know I've been neglecting all of you, and I'm sorry. I've just been dealing with all my own crap, and I'm not going to let that get in the way anymore. So feel free to message me or send me a comment on Facebook, or not a comment on Facebook, comment on YouTube, anything. I try to get back to everyone as soon as I possibly can. I at least try to keep up with my comments and my subscribers. I do appreciate every one of you. So I guess that's my little spiel. Because just hit 30 minutes and the video hasn't cut at all. So that's freaking awesome. So I'll get back to you guys with another video either tonight when I'm off work or tomorrow in the afternoon sometime, depending on what's going on with that. If you have any questions for me, anything you'd like to have answered, maybe just a topic you'd like me to talk about, type of food you'd like me to try eating, suggestions for a video, anything, feel free to give me a shout out. Let me know. Because I need you guys for this just as much as I need, the help and support from the fellowship. I need the help and support from you guys to keep this channel alive. Ultimately it falls on me to do that, but at the same time, I value your opinions and what it is you'd like to see and hear, and I want to do my best to deliver that. So, leave a comment, leave a like, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And I hope to hear from you soon. In the meantime, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for listening. And as always, peace.